everyone, I'm Nikki Haverstock, and this is the AuthorTube portion of my YouTube channel. I am a cozy mystery author, and I've had a little bit of a break. I'm just getting tired. It's fall for me. I'm slowing down. We're having more family stuff, trying to get that last little bit of summer in. So I washed my hair, and so it's still a little damp, and it's a little out of control. Anyway, and so today I wanted to talk about the title, whatever I ended up titling this video, probably mentioned archery in it, and that's sort of a tongue-in-cheek way, but I do think that it's important that authors have some sort of physical hobby. I mentioned archery because that's my physical hobby. It strengthens the back, it improves your posture, it's the exact right activity to counteract this, is a sport that does this, opens up through the chest, strengthens the back, all that kind of thing. I have a lot of people love yoga. It ends up being sort of a similar activity. But I'm going to give my little pitch for archery, and then we're going to segue into a discussion just about being active. But archery is a sport you can take up at any age. They have bows from 10, 15 pounds, which are nothing. That's the draw weight, the weight that's required to pull back a bow to full draw, all the way up. Archery stores, it's available worldwide. It can be adapted, so if you have an old shoulder injury, you can adapt how you form. I've known paraplegics and quadriplegics, a gentleman that was born without arms. All of them have been able to adapt archery to shoot archery. So it's a great sport, and it's very, very adaptable. We call it adaptive archery for our para-archers. It can be taken up at any age. You can enjoy it alone in your backyard or at a range with friends. It's a very good sport. But I'm not saying it's the only sport. Maybe your thing is bowling or yoga. Maybe you run marathons. Maybe you only, hike mountains, whatever it is. But you should have something that you are doing physically. Now, we all know, we read the studies about how sitting is almost more deadly than swimming with sharks. It's bad for your heart, your body aches. I was just having a discussion with some writers that we were discussing the fact that I can't write longhand. I have a slight tendency towards tendinitis. I can type, but even like when I edit and I do a lot of mouse work, my hand starts to bother me. If I have to have a very specific setup, and if I get off by even a little bit on my setup, I'll get pains in my wrists and my arms. So that's just, and I think that's very common for a lot of people who work at a computer or who just use a computer. It's like the amount of computer using that the average person does, especially like with your phone, that similar kind of motion, it can really set you off. So it's really important that you have something that you're doing to stay healthy. You're eating your veggies, you're moving your body. I understand that people have different ability levels or things that can affect their ability to be active, but I encourage you to find something. If that means swimming, if you have to just, experiment. If you go, you have to figure out, can I snowshoe? Is that a thing? Really make that time to find something that you can do to, even if it's just like buying the bands. And I go on Instagram and I follow these, they have like exercises you can just do with bands. Like, this is my archery band, but you can do exercises like this or just, basic things. But I'm not getting into health things, and obviously you and your doctor, and if you have something that gets in your way, you might have something, you might want to have a discussion about what's reasonable that I can do. Can you make suggestions as to low impact? My husband and I try to walk at least an hour a day. We have a big piece of property, so we do a little circle and go back. And walking is a great thing, even minor lifting of weights. But it's not just that. I think it's also important. I personally am a fan of like a competitive hobby because it gets me a chance to do well at something. Sometimes art publishing can feel like you're just banging your head against a wall. It's such slow progress. Yes, there are people who absolutely hit the starting line. They take off. They're making millions, and God bless them. But for every one person who has that experience, there's thousands and thousands and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people who don't have that experience. And there are a lot of people that if you were to somehow get everybody in the room who is making a lot of money, profit, not just the royalty sheets, that are making profit that is primarily coming from the creation of books that aren't ghost written. I'm not saying that this is what a lot of people do, but we got to kind of remove people. We got to remove the people who are making six figures, but they're spending high fives. They're making $100,000 a year, but they're spending $80,000. That's their business model, and I'm not judging them one way or the other, but we talk about people who are actually making money, that are paying all their bills, and they're not doing it through, I have a YouTube channel, so I don't have a problem with that, but if they're making all their money through YouTube and not writing, all those things, you get all of those people together. I don't have any statistics, but I'd say for every one that hit it out of the ballpark, the first book, there might be 20 who did it after 10 books. There might be another 20 who did it after 20 books, and so on and so forth. And there'll be people in there who slaved away for 10 years. And that's a long time to put. You should not be putting your value in that. But I encourage you to find some other things that you can enjoy, that you can go and do with friends, that you can get better at. I know that sometimes when I go out and shoot, and I just have a nice time shooting, and I hit the bullseye and I do all that, I just feel like, okay, I just feel better. I'm a huge fan of sports. So I'm just going to encourage you. Now, I said sports because I'm combining my physical activity with my my other hobby, but you can of course make those two separate things. You could walk and lift weights for health, and then your other thing could be cross stitch, drawing, photography, whatever it is. But those are two boxes. If you can check them together, I recommend Archery again. But if you want to do them separately, of course you can do them separately, of course. But I encourage you to have some hobbies outside of writing and some physical activity outside of writing, which doesn't count. Anyway, hit me down below if you have any specific questions. I've gotten a couple of questions. I'm just feeling really like a little tired and all that. So I thought it took a little break, and I'm going to try to come back to doing at least one video a week, preferably two. It'll come back eventually, and then you won't be able to shut me up. But until then, if you have any suggestions, let me know. Bye.